It used to be this very pristine sandbox.
Like curated?
Curated. The sand is fresh.
Yeah.
You know, everything moves through it. Like when my daughter's playing in the sandbox that's new, go do your thing, girl. We went to New York in the city. We're in Brooklyn, and there was this sandbox, and there were just these old leftover toys. It was wet. That's what social media feels like to me. It's this damp, gross,
muddied
old
water.
sandbox with so many germs in it, and we're all forced to fucking play.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Cheers.
Cheers.
For those of you who can't see.
We are raising a glass. We're drinking Japanese whiskey today.
Hell yeah. Let's get a sponsor for that too.
We need a sponsor for Japanese whiskey. We need a sponsor for some Japanese whiskey just because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
It is.
And because today on Inside Hilton's head, inside my head is a lot of the chaos and the stress or the unexplained happenings surrounding social media.
It's a big one.
It's a big one, Molly. You know, my brand, let's say, and I'm throwing up air quotes for you listeners. The viewers can see it. It came through the funnel of social media.
Definitely.
Mainly Instagram.
Yes.
Now, you're not going to hear me today in the time that we have here trash or say I'm not happy with what the platforms are doing with social media.
Yep.
But I am, and I feel this might be a collective, like, what the fuck?
Sentiment. Yeah, I agree with that.
Everyone else, like, what is that algorithm doing?
Yep.
To us.
I think, and that's interesting as like, you know, you as a content creator and then me mostly as a content consumer to sort of see, you know, what is being featured, what isn't, why. And then the way people consume social media has changed so much too from the beginning. And then now sort of in this unknown of not knowing what people want to see and then what people choose to engage with.
For sure.
And then trying to navigate all of that because it's new to everybody. It's not, you know.
I think the idea of the market, I guess how they say it, flooded. There's a flood.
For sure.
Everyone's in. I didn't know where it was when I first stepped into Instagram as far as like how flooded it was then. It seemed as flooded then as it was that it is now, I guess. All of my friends were on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
Most people I knew were on Instagram or on a social platform, right? But I don't think, and maybe this is how it works, the algorithm isn't showing everyone everything, or they're trying their best, but there's just so many people, like all of them can't see every single thing.
Tell us more about what an algorithm is. And how you think it works. Because I know there's not a direct answer there.
Well, unlike the rhythm that most white folks can't find. No.
That was such an unnecessary call out on so many levels. That was so...
No, hey, my wife knows she's rhythmless. No.
There are incredible white dancers in this world, Hilton.
I fell in love with the way my wife dances.
There you go.
We danced. Let's take a quick story time, ladies and gentlemen. I love my wife so much. She happens to be of the white persuasion. She's a Caucasian lady. And in our first year, we had been dating at this point for about 7 months. And someone had told me early in my relationship, they said, if you really want to see if a relationship is going somewhere,
okay,
and that person is for you, go somewhere with that person where you know no one else.
Okay.
And spend some real time with them. And if you still like them after that trip, then you might have something there.
Interesting.
So this trip wasn't with other people. I mean, with wasn't just the two of us. We went to Paris for a friend's art show. And I hadn't been in many places with my wife where she was even, where she had the opportunity to dance, let's say. But we ended up going to a nightclub in Paris called Silencio. So if any of you know.
I love Silencio.
Tell me more. Well, let me tell you more.
Based on one that looks like a wine cavern.
Let me tell you more, and then you tell me more. So Silencio, I'm intrigued. Tell me more. Some friends said, let's go to Silencio. I'm like, it's already 1 a.m., my friends.
It's when it starts.
Do you not know how old I am?
Let's go.
Now, I was like, all right, we're in Paris. When in Paris, you go to Silencio. Now, Silencio, shush, quiet, silence. So when we walk in, we're headed down into the club. And I'm like, oh no. What if when we get to the bottom, because I don't hear no music, what if we get to the bottom, someone's down there with machine guns and they're going to kill us?
That was your first thought?
That's where my brain went.
We should unpack that too sometime.
Stop trying to unpack me. Stop trying to unpack me.
A lot's been coming up during these podcast filmings, Hilton.
I started this podcast as a therapy session of sorts inside Hilton's head. But yeah, so we're going down, and my wife's like, oh, she's not my wife then. Fiona is she's just my 7-month girlfriend at that point. She's like, no, idiot. It's probably like a silent disco.
Oh, like everyone has those headphones?
I didn't even know what a silent disco was when she said that's like, what are you talking about? You think what I'm saying is outrageous? What are you even saying? What is a silent disco? That makes no sense. We're about to get murdered. So we finally get to the bottom and I'm like, oh shit, there's music. But it was a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And I saw, like, I still see it. I'm standing with my two friends. My wife let Europe take her. She's European.
I love that.
She let her whole self out that night.
Yes.
Not fully what I'm saying, but you know what I mean? Like, my wife, she was in it. She was in her bag.
Yes.
She was in her bag.
When you, this is what I love about people who like just do their own thing and own it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how like weirdly you dance. I'm putting air quotes up of just like, you know, people might look at you and be like, oh, that's like a strange dance move. If you're owning it and you're having a good time and I can see that, that's so awesome. That's so attractive. That's so cool.
There it is. That was everything. You hit it on the head right there with that particular 3 words. That's so cool. Any of my true romance lovers out there, when Patricia Arquette's character is saying to what is his name? Whirly. What is his first name? Her love interest in this movie. She's just staring at him and she's just saying, "You're so cool. You're so cool." Just thinking of how cool he is. That's what I thought about Fiona at that time. I was like, oh my God, this person doesn't care at all. Cares not how bad of a dancer she is. Yeah. She's so bad. She's so good.
That's so cool. I love
that. Is sexy.
Yeah.
It was sexy. And I was like, I love it. I love her. We can't dance together.
And that's okay.
You know what I mean? Because my rhythm gets weird and messed up when I try to connect to your rhythm because you have none, which is great.
She has her own.
So going back to the algorithm, that's kind of in the same sense of I don't know how to jump in.
Wow, Hilton, way to bring that back. I didn't know how you're going to bring that back to the algorithm story. That was incredible.
Hey, man, come on. That's what I do. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, my man. It's a thing where I have no idea how to play in it at this point. I used to understand how it worked. I post, my followers see, they make the decision to like or comment.
For sure.
Right? Now I have no idea. I don't even know when is a good time to, like, there's supposed to be a time to post for people to see it. I am in a raft, just floating in a vast ocean right now.
I mean, bringing it back to like the dance analogy, it's like, what's the next step? When do I take it? Who's going to look at it? Do they like it? You just have so many questions.
You have so many questions. And what I don't want people to think I'm doing is blaming Instagram for any of it. And for any of the people aren't seeing my post, so that's why it's not getting as much engagement. That's not the case.
Not it. Yeah.
It's not it. I think what it is, at the end of the day, anyone complaining about the engagement being lost, yes, it's gonna have a little bit of the algorithm. People aren't seeing it, but like anything in life, the cream rises to the top. They're not keeping my content away from all of you on purpose because they don't want you to see it. It's just not being engaged. People aren't engaging with it in the first few seconds that they see of it. So they're like, hold up, let's show them something that maybe they want people to keep coming back.
For sure.
So they're going to
spend lots of time on it.
And spend lots of time. So they want to show you stuff that is exciting to you.
Yeah.
Possibly. And a lot of the things that I see that are getting a lot of likes and comments, engagement, I rarely ever see something and I'm like, how the hell did this get so many likes?
Same.
It's always like, holy
that
shit.
makes sense. I get it.
Makes sense. I get it. I get
Damn,
it.
cool.
You know, this is all whoa, right? And it's because what I like to say is it has to be something, one, that is going to bring some sort of value, but at the same time, it has to bring that wow factor. And it has to be something where you're just like creatives, people who are creating a thing, making a thing. That's when people get excited and want to participate, engage, and said stuff. So while it is to me a very, right now, an unfamiliar space, like I feel uncertain in my 1-2 step. I used to be familiar with what the move should be for this particular song or that particular song. Again, the analogy of dancing and social media. Right now, I feel so far from it, but still aware of it.
Definitely.
Because I know the answer, but I'm uncertain if I have the ability to create the thing that will provide the engagement, the amount of engagement that is just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Constantly enough.
Yes.
While still providing myself with the happiness that I deserve daily. Like I told myself when I decided to have a side hustle, the reason why I want to do this is because what I'm doing makes me happy.
Definitely. That should be at the core of
that should be the
everything
core.
You create.
So when I would post stuff, it was because I was excited to make it. I was excited to share it.
Definitely.
So I never go at creating something and go, well, I hope I'm creating this for people to then like it, and then that's it. But I would be lying to you if I said, if I make something, almost every single thing, I'm like, this is an awesome thing. I know out the gate, some of it is for me mainly, and maybe some of the people who who feel like me. But as a whole of all of my followers, most of them aren't going to really love this or engage with it. And then there are certain pieces that I'll put out there that I'm like, this is across the board. Everyone who likes interiors, who likes plants, they're going to jive with this and it might do really well.
For sure.
But I hate the idea of even thinking about any of that because I never used to think about that stuff.
I mean, I think content creation in a bigger sense is almost like an art medium at this point, right? It's like a way you can share art. It's, a platform in which you share with others what you create creatively.
Yeah.
And art is not only meant to be produced, but it's meant to be consumed. So it's natural for you to have to think about not only, oh, this makes me happy, so I'm going to make it. I like what I did. But you have to think about the viewer. You have to think about the people consuming that and thinking about, oh, what are they thinking? What do they like,
Yeah. I mean, that is what most art is
Exactly.
in some sort of sense, right? So it is, and again, it isn't just in this one pocket of social media, right? I mean, there's so many other
Which
platforms.
you are in a pocket.
Yeah.
You have a very specific, aesthetic. You have a specific voice. You have specific topics and categories you cover. And then how to even stand out in that is really hard, because it's just taking the plant part of what you do. I'm not going to say the word plantfluencer, but I'm going to say the word plantfluencer. I know how much.
How dare you? How dare you?
But, the fact that that is even a term is crazy. That means there are enough people who are doing that, who are creating plant-related content on this platform, that they created a term just to describe that niche section of content creators. And then to try to stick out from there, I mean, it's so difficult.
For sure. Well, difficult for some. I mean, I think what is beautiful about what you said is, yes, anything that you find to be your passion that you love, social media has your community there waiting for you.
For sure.
And I find it to be the biggest blessing for me as a creative, as an artist, as a person that loves positivity. I think if you want to receive a lot of positive vibes, there are platforms that can provide you with that if you're looking for it, right? They talk about the doom scrolling.
Yeah.
You can do that on certain platforms. You probably do it on all platforms, but you have to go looking for that.
Definitely.
Honestly, because you make the decision on what content you follow or see, right? So for me, I think it's special to know that it was very special to me that I could share about my passion for plants, and then which I then coined plant styling, and find a real genuine community of other individuals who were like-minded and also wanted to share that.
Yes.
Was it interesting to see the amount of new people trying to share content about plants as I was also there, or after I was sharing my own content? It was, but to circle back to an old podcast, an old episode of this podcast where we talked about Mrs. Lee. Mrs. Lee, if you're not familiar, if you didn't hear the podcast, we talked about Molly's mom. Molly, you coined your Korean mom as
Tiger Mom.
Tiger Mom. Once was Tiger Mom. She's no longer
ex-Tiger Mom.
Ex-Tiger Mom.
She's retired from that.
She's retired. And what you boiled that all down to is someone who is trying to push you to be better.
For sure.
Put that not, I don't want to say, is it a competitive bone? Like,
kind of, yeah. She just pushed me to do the best I possibly can at all times.
There it is. That's where I saw myself headed when I would see others in my space trying to do what I did. It just makes you better.
Yeah.
Right? They say iron sharpens iron, but like, not everyone is built to create content for particular platforms.
Definitely.
Instagram, man, I was going to say it's a photo based, but it's like now it's a video based platform. So is TikTok. So is Snapchat, X, and Threads, I guess now is all.
Broadcast channel.
Yeah, broadcast channel. I think all these could be like written
YouTube
areas, blogs, YouTubes. YouTubes. That's my Baltimore coming up. Multiple tubes. YouTubes. So I feel like for me, my background was in film, photography, art. So Instagram was an easy way for me to share my love for plants, but artistically,
Definitely.
right? And creatively. A lot of and I'm gonna sound terrible here. I am gonna sound, and I know it, but again, inside of my head, inside of Hilton said,
Yes,
these are
what's
things
in there?
I am thinking. Not everyone's built to make video.
For sure.
And I hate that Instagram has forced all of these folks, people that I love, to make video work.
Definitely.
Some of it, and I can't really maneuver through TikTok yet because I come from a film. I have a master's in film. When I see some of this stuff, it sometimes it's embarrassing to me. The quality is just so shockingly off that I just feel, I don't know, there's like yucky feeling that I have in my gut.
I want to loop that back to,
I know that sounds terrible.
no, our earlier conversation of you and your wife Fiona at the club, watching her dance.
Silencio, yeah, man.
Shout out Silencio. Is there, yes, I agree with what you're saying, but again, if someone is just owning their shitty quality and their shitty video editing skills and it somehow becomes like a part of the art itself, I love that. It's really the people who are like pretending like they are great at it and are trying like too hard and like ignoring the fact that it's possibly not great and just pretending to be something else. I think that's what.
Well, if you're following a channel that is owning the fact, if they are making mention to the fact that this is crap,
yes,
and I enjoy the bad look of this, yes, of course.
Sometimes I just want to see the bad stuff. I'm like, haha, and that's fun.
But what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily the I am terrible at making the art, I guess the video that I'm seeing is more so of I just have to make a video because this is what this is what the beast wants.
Totally.
This isn't what the people want. The beast is the algorithm, maybe the platform. It wants me to feed it video.
I know.
I have to. If I don't,
that. I feel like you're talking about me right now because I did that.
Well,
I'll admit,
if the sock fits,
everyone. It was all about reels that year. And I made my first reel. And
because what? Because you felt pressure to do so.
Yes, because everyone was making reels. And I'm like, okay, this is what people do now. So I'm just going to make a reel. So I like made a reel of my awesome Korea trip. And I like spliced it all together and put music on it and was like, oh, this looks cool. Keep in mind, my account is private. I only have followers who I know personally.
For sure.
And I'm not looking for like likes and stuff. That's not the point of, that's not my relationship with my Instagram account. But still, I posted that feeling like real proud. And then I got like 25 likes.
Hey.
That is like a fourth, if not an eighth of like the usual likes I get from just posting like a photo.
Yeah.
And I was just like, but why? Like I spent so much time on this thing and I was like trying to move things around. I'm like, okay, cool. Trying to find the right song and get like the right cut. And I'm like, this is so headachy. And then I posted it to like nothing. And again, that's not what I'm making these for. But still, that was a profound experience. And then I stopped making reels.
You were like, I'm out because no one's liking it. But but you felt pressure to do so. And that's what I'm saying. Like I know there are many people like you. I have many friends like you. Just feel pressured to do so they then do it.
Definitely.
But that's not what their skill set is.
Specialty is, yeah.
It's not where their specialty is. And it changed my relationship with how I maneuver throughout social media. And I guess in Instagram, TikTok as well. It's just like, I'm just like a snob. I brought this up a long time ago. A Seinfeld lover. Mm-hmm. There's an episode where Elaine is in a video store, a video store, and she's renting videos, and they have employee section, like an employee pick section, and there's Gene pics and there's Gene and Vincent's pics. Vincent is like avant-garde.
Oh, okay.
He's art
Artsy
house.
films.
He's art house. Gene is like, he's like Weekend at Bernie's. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of social is just Gene pics again. If you decided that that's what you wanted to see, you can follow nothing but Vincent's pics
For sure.
But that's not my most of my friend group or the community that I have are filmmakers.
Right.
They are people who decided that they wanted to have plant accounts where they talk about plants or share their plants or share their interior styling and all this stuff. And now they feel forced to create this thing
Definitely.
that they weren't making before.
For sure.
And then I feel like I liked when you just took that photo, when you felt more comfortable just taking that photo of your space. Not that the videos are terrible, because I'll still watch them and I'll still engage with them, because the broader message is what us, the viewer, is taking away from it, right? Yeah. But for me personally, it doesn't hold me, it doesn't grab me right away, and I find myself pushing a lot of it away, where sometimes I just don't, like, I don't know. I feel bad. It makes me a little sad, because years ago when I first started, social was so cool. I was on social I'd be on social every single day, multiple times throughout the day. I think now, like, there's certain, like, I'll take 12 hours before I'll go back on social. Sometimes I got to check for a DM to write to, and then some days I just won't show up.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, whatever the noise is will still be noisy when I get back.
It will.
And it used to be this very pristine sandbox.
Like curated?
Curated. The sand is fresh.
Yeah.
You know, everything moves through it. Now it feels like, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I went, like, when my daughter's playing in the sandbox that's new, go do your thing, girl. We went to New York in the city. We're in Brooklyn, and there was this sandbox, and there were just these old leftover toys. It was wet. That's what social media feels like to me. It's this damp, gross,
muddied
old
water.
sandbox with so many germs in it, and we're all forced to fucking play.
Yeah.
That's it.
I hear you on that.
So.
I hear you on that. I think it's just so hard because a lot of people who started on Instagram, particularly as a platform, as content creators, started with such a pure intention as a way to share their art with the world, or their interest or hobby or whatever niche thing they want to put out there and connect with different people. And then, like you're saying now, that's just not where it is anymore. That's not where the heart is anymore.
It's not the hardest because, again, people feel the pressure to do things that are outside of their specialty and their wheelhouse, and it becomes what it is.
Forced into it too.
You're forced into it, and we're all playing in it. And I'm willing to get my feet and toes all sandy and dirty and gross, because that's where we're all having fun. Just like when I got my feet all dirty and gross when I was dancing until 7 a.m. in Silencio. I hope I get to go back and dance with my wife someday soon. I think if we ever have like a reunion, you know, like with our friends, take them back to Paris, I think that's exactly where we'll go.
You gotta
go deep down into the underground and dance until we can't dance anymore. Guys, that's all I got. That's what's inside my head.
That
Molly?
Sounds good. That's inside my head. Well, now I'm going to be thinking about this for much longer, but.
Hey, I mean, it's social. We're still in it. So
I know.
We're still having fun. Hopefully people are enjoying what we're sharing, and we can keep it up.
Yeah. And I'm curious to hear what other people think about, what their relationship to social is like now versus then, what they're looking for, what they don't ever want to see again on there. It's all interesting.
Yeah. If you're listening to this and you can leave comments, or if you're watching it, you want to leave a comment, tell us what your issues are. I know we all have these issues. We all need to sit on someone's couch and vent about social. We're all in the same game. We're all having fun. Some are having more success than others, but we'll keep moving. We'll keep trying to figure it out, and we'll keep coming back and complaining.
I feel like there's going to be a part 2, 3, and 4 to this episode.
I think we need to do this quarterly.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We need to do this
Let's
quarterly.
do that.
So we'll check back in with you sometime in the spring, everyone, when it comes to the social media side of the business. Everyone, have a good rest of your day, your week, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Take care.